Hello, and welcome to the 7th video of our backend web development series. So before we start, I want to mention if you are planning to make a fully functional web app, remember I'm leaving out some very important parts for that while giving you the knowledge to do those parts. For example, our register post function, let me go to it right here. So our register post function will take multiple users with the same username, which is highly problematic. So the way you could fix that is by just searching if a user already exists with the find one method that we learned about in the previous video. So just wanted to give that heads up. And with that said, let's move on to EJS templating, which is the topic for this video. So what EJS allows us to do is render data from the backend to the HTML in the front end. So the first step is to set up EJS. So first let's install the EJS package. So npm I EJS. So it's downloading. So now if we go to package.json, we have the EJS module here. And now the next step would be to change the HTML type to EJS. So let's rename all of these from HTML to EJS. Okay, so with that done, now let's go into index.js. Okay. And let's require EJS at the top. Now let's have our app change its view engine to EJS. In quotations there. Okay, so we should be good with all the setup. And now let's go into our get methods. And the way EJS works is that we don't use send file, but we render those files instead. So with all those changes, let's save. So now if I go into localhost 3000, and then if I go to login and then press sign in, you can see that everything is still functioning well. And now we're gonna test out one of EJS's main purposes, widgets to display data specific to the user. So instead of typing in stuff in the EJS files or HTML, we're going to pass in something from the backend and we're going to receive it in the EJS file. So in order to do that, I'm going to create a const up here, or rather I'll make it a variable, and we can set that to be empty for now. But once you log in, so let's make it cur username to represent the current username, and then where I log in, I'm going to set that equal to the username. And then where I render the index.ejs, I'm going to pass in a JavaScript object, and this is going to contain the username, and it's going to be the current username. So if I save that and then go into EJS, we can say hello and access that past object by just typing in the less than sign and then percent equals, and then to close that off you just want to type in percent and the greater than sign. So in between here you just want to pass in that username, and the reason why you have to pass this in because you can actually send multiple things here. I'll show you in a second, but let's just test this out. Let's save, and now we'll go back to localhost. We'll go into the login, and then we'll sign in, and it says my username, it says hello Isfar, you're logged in. So that's working fine, and you can also send multiple stuff too. You can send your password. This is not something you would want to do, but just as an example. And then up here, let's create var cur password, set that equal to an empty string, and then down here we can do this. We'll set it equal to password, and then if we save that and then we go back into the HTML, we can create another h1 tag, and this h1 tag we can say your password is this password, and I believe that should all be good. So let's log in again. And yeah, so you can see that my name is Isfar and that my password is 123. So now there's something really bad with our code right now, and this all works for one user, But watch what happens if I create another user. So we can name him John. We'll have his password to be 1234. We'll make him sign up. So he's registered. Just to make sure, let's check our database. And yeah, he's right there. So if we go into login now, and then sign in as John, then it says, hello John, you're logged in. Your password is 1234. But now, if you go into this, it's still ISFA right now, but if I reload, it says, hello John, you're logged in, and your password is 1234. So this is a major problem, right? This is not a viable way of making a website. And the reason why this happened is actually because we have just one variable, or I guess a set of two variables with cur username, cur password, and every time someone logs in, this variable just updates. So it's really not an ideal way. So the way we can solve this is by using something called sessions. And sessions actually allow us to monitor which user is doing what. And that's why you see several sites saying, please accept that we are going to be using cookies. So in the next video, we're going to be talking about sessions and cookies and how you can use them to differentiate your users and render the user information correctly. So I hope you learned and enjoyed in this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Hope to see you in the next one.